Welcome to the fourth and final episode of Energy Audits for Churches. Let's talk a little bit about the capital decision-making process in a church. Why are you installing new equipment? What are the issues with the current equipment? Is there a lack of capacity? If a church has a lot of growth, that could very well happen. Is it become too expensive to operate? If it's an old R12 system that's constantly breaking, it's going to be very expensive to keep it running. Or repair costs becoming excessive, and they can if equipment is that old or that obsolete. There are many considerations when looking at new equipment. The initial cost, obviously, but many times that is where the biggest mistake is made. People value engineer and don't look at the life cycle cost of the equipment. Many times I've seen an 80% efficiency boiler be replaced with another 80% efficiency boiler. And these days, there are much higher efficient boilers that don't cost that much more money. You need to look at the cost of the equipment, the long-term cost. Look at the funding that's available. There's many utility rebates now that can help you or influence your decision to buy more efficient equipment, and these can be very substantial. And there are special loan programs available, especially for nonprofits. South Carolina has one called the Concert Fund that allow you to get low interest financing, and the energy savings have to pay for the loan. So it's effectively no money out of pocket. A simple payback calculation is often done to see how much the energy savings can offset the initial cost of the equipment. But keep in mind that for a church, especially if it only operates a day or two a week, it's very difficult to get a good simple payback because there's just not that many run hours to save as much energy. This slide illustrates why it's a good idea to get more efficient air conditioning equipment. Today's code requirement is 13 SEER for residential grade, and some churches use residential grade, small ones. If you are to buy that and replace an older, let's say 10 to 15-year-old piece of equipment, you can see you would go from 8 SEER, maybe even less, up to 13 SEER would be a 38% cost savings on an annual basis. Utility rebates are set up to try to influence you to buy more and more efficient equipment. So if you go higher than 13, they will incentivize that decision and help you make the right decision concerning energy efficiency. This graph shows the savings that can be gotten from getting more efficient natural gas equipment. Condensing systems have caused natural gas efficiencies to go well over 90%, sometimes over 95%. If the only system in the building using natural gas is your air conditioning system, or your heating system, I should say, it's relatively easy to estimate your savings. Let's say you use $1,000 a year and you have a 70% furnace, you go up to 95%, you're going to reduce that by $250 or 25% a year. Here are a few pictures of some high volume and low velocity ceiling fans. I have installed these, just not in churches, but I can say they work quite well. They're variable speed, and they can allow you to raise the the thermostat setting a few degrees, up to 5 degrees, because the cooling effect of the air allows you to raise the temperature from, let's say, up 73 to 78 would be a good example. These would be used in extremely large rooms with high ceilings. Okay, let's summarize. The areas of highest opportunity in a church, let's start. HVAC is by far the biggest, and in that you can look at the schedule, set points, humidity control, and minimize the outside air as much as possible. Lighting is very important. It can account for 10 to 30% of the total energy consumption. And as we just spoke about that, you eliminate incandescent, HID, and frequently used T12. Watch those day burners also. Domestic hot water, ask yourself the question, is the equipment too big? Are you using the right fuel? Does it need to be on all the time? And would tankless work for the application? Build an envelope, keep it simple, repair air leaks, insulate where necessary. Kitchen, pilot lights, use Energy Star equipment where possible. And with ice makers, you can even use remote condensers. It will put the heat outside instead of putting it in the kitchen where you're going to have to remove it with air conditioning. And for church offices, it's the same as any other office. Ensure your computers, monitors, and other office equipment go to sleep. Watch the space heaters and watch the small plug loads. I hope that this presentation has been useful. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm Lonnie Russell with EnergyMan. Thanks.